Ghana's economy is driven by agriculture. An investment in agriculture, therefore, is an investment in the prosperity of the country. Many a time, the drivers of our economic backbone are left without any assistance whatsoever. Despite the production potential, smallholder farmers confront serious constraints in profiting from their resources due to lack of basic infrastructure, limited access to services for production, finance and business development, and limited ability to influence favorable policy. Major global trends are rapidly changing the rural environment, and smallholder farmers need to devise ever more innovative ways of using their labor, resources and skills to take advantage of new business opportunities.
Africa is at a crossroad. There are a lot of opportunities. The investment climate in Africa, the climate change that is taking place, all come together to make this continent a viable continent for agriculture investment. Most of these countries fall under the portfolio 3 countries. AGRA will continue to engage continental advocacy and regional initiatives, and we will sustain increased awareness of the importance of agriculture in Africa and conduct policy advocacy, finance, coordinated regional activities to help to scale up supply and demand in these countries. And we will also encourage and finance Pan-African education, research efforts, and share best practices across these countries.
In many cases, current trends will continue to marginalize increasing numbers of small-scale rural producers, with particularly negative effects on those that are least organized and distant from markets. To address these changes, rural communities are adopting various strategies, including agricultural extensification, intensification, diversification, mixed on-off-farm income streams, and increasingly urban migration. Unfortunately, some options can have serious negative effects on natural resources, especially in fragile ecosystems where communities have no incentives to practice sustainable management practices. But there is now hope for farmers and small farmer organizations with the launch of the Farmer Organization Support Center in Africa, FOSCA. FOSCA is an initiative by the Alliance for a Green Revolution in Africa, AGRA, with support from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, BMGF, which will link farmer organizations with service providers to focus on demand-driven services. It is a significant landmark designed to alleviate the poverty of farmers in Africa, since agriculture accounts for 70% of full-time employment on the continent.
AGRA started with a strong focus on technology. You cannot transform agriculture if you don't come up with new ways of farming that will allow you to get quantity, quality at a low cost. That's the name of the game. AGRA has been doing that. But we have finally recognized that you cannot have a sustainable transformation of agriculture without the farmers themselves. So we are glad to have a whole component of AGRA's portfolio. We should be building partnership with farmer organizations, recognizing the important role that they play in bringing farmers together so that they can have a collective voice, negotiate better prices for their members, and enable access to resources and opportunities to smallholder farmers.
AGRA's partnership with the government of Ghana cannot be overemphasized, as the institution continues to work closely with the government of Ghana through its agencies. This is what the then acting Minister for Food and Agriculture, Honorable Mike Harmer, said at the official launch of FOSCA.
That the success of this project can facilitate agricultural development in the country. I'm very confident about it. If we are to succeed in agricultural development, our small-scale farmers must be organized, as I said, to create the necessary synergy towards producing more, processing more, and marketing more in order to earn more. That is the only way to reduce poverty. Earning a sustainable income, making sure that the benefit of economic growth is broad-based. A lot more people take part in the growth process. If you do a profiling of the country, and you have more than 70 to 80% of them based in subsistence agriculture, it tells you that that is the way to go. That is where you need to have well-focused, organized, and discrete policy intervention.
So what is in FOSCA for our farmers?
The broad approach is then you empower the actor. You see, you give options to people. I think one thing AGRA is doing is we are not focused on one commodity. There's a whole range of commodity we are working with. We are not only focused on one type of outlet. Part of the work is to make sure we work with our partners to identify different options and build their capacity. I mean, Mali is we are all devastated because every time I speak, I take the example of Mali, which really is a perfect illustration of how listening first to farmers and what they are doing and their needs, we are able to align our own work as AGRA. I think we have the Mali director sitting here. We had a fantastic process in which all the AGRA programs sat down with the Mali breadbasket team. You have a full ownership by the national government.
As our farmers now look up to assistance from FOSCA, we hope that they take advantage of this all-important initiative that has been made just for them.